now. For those of you who have improbably been watching previous to going live, this is a very special episode featuring a grudge match between Florida Man and Poland Man. What? Team, is that you? Of course it is. Look, fine, you can rough the articles or something. Whatever. Oh. I guess we'll go ahead and get started. The idea works thus, everyone who is listening. I might need to repeat this between rounds, as a matter of fact, just to make sure everyone's in ground rules. A round will start. You'll know when it happens. And then Jarl Falstaff will read his Poland Man article. After which point, I will read my Florida Man article. At which point, the chat will be dictating who won. Oh, and here we go. One more time. First, your Falstaff goes, then I go, and then you in the chat dictate who won the round.
Florida Man! Poland Man! Fight!
First up, everyone, we have this guy's name who I'm not going to bother to pronounce. We're just going to call him Arcadius, because I don't know how to say the Z. Arcadius, 40, was attacked near a row of takeaway shops in Harlow, Essex, on the 27th of August in 2016. It's 3 years old, but it still counts. A 16-year-old boy, who was 15 at the time, which means he is 19 now, and is not going to be named for legal reasons, and denies the manslaughter. The Chelmsford Crown Court heard that he had used the whole force of his body to hit Mr. Name. The trial continues. Rosina Cottage QC prosecuting says the prosecution does not say that the youth thought for a moment that when he did he would result in the death of a man. However, we say he moved deliberately around the back of Mr. Name to take him by surprise and hit him from behind. From what looks to be like and this is the fun part, Superman punch that he threw. He must have intended to send the man to the ground. The jury was told that Mr. Name, who was also known as Eric, or Ark, if you pronounce it weird. Is this a relative of yours?
Yeah.
Had been drinking vodka with his friend, and they were both speaking loudly and appeared to be drunk and smelt of alcohol. She said a third friend... Say that again?
He had good taste in booze, though.
Ah, well. She said a third friend drank beer and appeared to be sober. Ms. Cottage said the men sat on a bench to eat pizza near a group of teenagers on bikes at about 23:30. She said two boys cycled close to the men, which seemed to spark a disagreement between the two groups. CCTV footage of the attack was shown to jurors, and some of Mr. Names' family left the courtroom as it was shown. So, my guy had to be killed via Superman punch to be stopped.
And
for whatever reason it was, it didn't really seem like a reason. There was just some booze drinking, but Polish man requires Superman punch.
Chelmsford Crown Court. That doesn't sound like it's in Poland. Looks a bit Britishy to me. Ref,
Yeah.
are you going to allow
Man
this?
in Britain. Poland man in
Yeah.
Britain. It works. He's Poland man still. He is
Nope.
still a Poland man.
Okay, well, the ref is sided with you.
No, Poland and Britannia are two very different countries, and that sounds a lot like England to me.
Okay. Well, Poland man in England, I guess we'll let it go. It's my turn. Newsweek. An elderly Florida man was arrested this week after allegedly following a driver towards his home and shooting at him in a bout of road rage, police said. Cristino Aquino, 85, was detained on Wednesday evening after allegedly tailing a motorist in Marion Oaks, according to Marion County Sheriff's Office. The suspect was captured on the victim's dashcam footage, which was later released to social media. The driver told deputies that he had noticed a suspicious vehicle that was flashing its lights in his rear mirror while he was driving home from work at approximately 6:30 p.m., cops said. The antagonist followed the victim back to his neighborhood in a white Mazda 4-door SUV with a female passenger. The victim phoned 911 as he was afraid to go home, police said. I have a vehicle following me and he's just blocking my way, the man complained, adding, when I went to pass past him, he had something in his hand and it almost looks like a pistol wrapped around with a white rag or a plastic bag, and he tells me, get back, get back! Bullets allegedly started flying after the targeted driver was able to record the suspect's tag number. The victim was unharmed, but his car was struck by several bullets. Cops noted. He's shooting at me, the panicked victim remarked in the dashcam footage. He just shot! He just shot! That bag is a gun! You hear me? You with me, dispatch? He added, as multiple dings are heard. In a statement, the Florida Law Enforcement Department said, Deputy Guerrera and Deputy Tim Martin responded to Aquino's home and took him into custody. Deputies noticed that Aquino matched the suspect's description and was in possession of the suspect's vehicle. Aquino declined to make a statement about the incident, but the female passenger told deputies that Aquino followed the victim's vehicle to see what he wanted. She also added that she saw Aquino holding a gun, but did not know if he fired it or not, the release added. One deputy said the dashcam footage had confirmed the victim's description of events. The motive for the incident remained unclear, but was dubbed an apparent road rage incident. The victim told deputies he did not know Aquino and did not know why he would follow him home and shoot at him, the MCSO said Thursday after the suspect was arrested. 85, 15 years short of being a century-old man, Florida man, was charged with one count of aggravated assault with a deadly weapon. He was transported to the Marion County Jail on $2,000 bond, the MCSO added. And we seem to have a bit of a seed to another Florida man article. Really, look, so many Florida man, they have a hard time keeping their Florida man articles straight. So we'll go ahead and stop there. The present rounds is thus. If you want to make a case for your Polar man, I will make a case for my Florida man. And the chat and or Steam will dictate who won this round. Remember, we're looking for the most vile and stupid, the most meme-worthy, the most...
I would say Florida man won.
Well, I'll confirm that in the chat in a second. Would you like to make a case for Poland man?
Sure. Well, I would want my Poland man to win because, I mean, come on, when someone has to use the terminology Superman punch, and that's the word that was used in relation to the activity that was involved in your death, that means you're kind of probably like a drunken badass or just a drunken Pole. Because, you know.
Okay, the one detail there, though, is that Poland man didn't throw the Superman punch. That was British Kid!
Well, yes. But Poland man required a Superman punch to take him down. Because Poland man was strong like ox.
Taken out by a 15-year-old. But no, okay, well, no, it's fine. Please be free to argue here. In my case, I would stress that truly Florida man is the most deranged, the most dangerous of individuals. Even at incredibly advanced ages, this man was 85 years old, and he still took the time out of his busy schedule of bingo and shuffleboard to follow a stranger home to his house and randomly start shooting at him.
I mean, yeah, that is pretty freaking insane. I mean, like, what even got, like, he can drive. He didn't use a scooter. I'm just surprised that he can still, navigate a car.
I'm not seeing any further votes in the chat. If there are no further votes in the chat, then Steam's call wins it.
Well, the thing is I think Florida Man wins simply for the fact an 80-year-old man went guns blazing, while Polish man. It just sounds like an average Saturday night out in London.
We had Dick Berrien join us. Nick Arcana has voted for Poland Man. Okay, against all odds, Poland Man has won. Poland Man getting taken out by a 15-year-old is much worse than the 85-year-old who was randomly shooting at people. Okay, well, that's round one.
Huzzah!
Oh, that's,
alrighty.
Oh, no, wait, hang on.
Wait.
Someone said Florida.
Wait, so how many, what's the vote then? That's the vote. Tally it up, someone.
One for Poland, Izu Poland, Nick Arcana Poland, Izu Poland, Dick Berrien, Florida Man, Miss Steam, Florida. That brings up Spectre. You know what? I'm just going to go ahead and give it to Poland Man. Half of you at least, feel that's really important that the worst, the stupidest, be a drunk man who gets taken out by one punch from a 15-year-old.
The One Punch Man. We have found him. He lives in Britain.
And he's 16 years old now, so, if you're drunk in Chelmsford, UK, whatever, then, beware of the kids. One of them has a nasty right hook.
Well, if you guys think that an average Saturday night out in London is crazy, then go right ahead.
Okay, I no, the chat has ruled. Next up,
Florida Man, Poland Man.
A march in Poland mourns man who set himself on fire in anti-government protests. A little immolation, anyone? Toasty!
What?
Mortal Kombat reference.
Oh,
In Warsaw, Poland, according to Reuters, several hundred people walked in silence on Monday night in Warsaw in memory of a 54-year-old man who died last month after setting himself on fire in protest against the ruling conservatives' policies. I have no clue what Polish politics are like, so maybe they are the boogeyman, but I don't know. We'll just call him Peter. Peter, a married father of two from small town of Napoli in Poland's south, died on the 29th of October after setting himself on fire on October 19th. So 10 days later, in front of the Palace of Culture, a Warsaw landmark. The Polish government, led by the right-wing Law and Justice Party, which is PIS, which came to power 2 years ago, has been criticized by the European Commission for Policies in Brussels, saying it jeopardizes the freedom of the media and the independence of the courts. I love freedom above all, Peter wrote in a leaflet, copies of which he scattered around himself. That's why I decided to commit the act of self-immolation, and I hope that my death will shake the conscience of many people. One of the protesters on Monday, Jack Rubinski, a 38-year-old training to be a paramedic, said that he mourned Peter's life and was full of respect for his decision. We are here because we are worried about the situation in our country. The political situation, Rubinsky said. Many people live in the conviction that politics doesn't concern them. Politics is us. We ordinary people create politics. My guy apparently also uses stupidity, but I guess he's attempting to use it in a form of political protest. Barbecues himself.
Actually, in Poland, it's really bad. It's going in the way of communist China. In Poland, they don't really have many human rights laws, and on top of that, it is incredibly backwards. Like, it's still legal to fully beat your wife. There is still legal to kill a black person in Poland. It's actually
You're making the case for Poland government, yeah. But I say look, I hope he made arrangements for taking care of his wife and children. Otherwise, I have to say that's extraordinary dedication. But
yeah.
it's my go. 9 arrested in Florida for baiting, taking, and molesting black bears.
What?
I wonder who will win this round. I don't want to get cocky though. I thought the last one was in the sack too. Florida just became more unbearable. 9 people were arrested in the Sunshine State this week for baiting, taking, and molesting black bears and then posting the beatdowns on Facebook, Instagram, and Snapchat, according to a release from the Office of the Attorney General. Black bear bullies used dog food, donuts, pastries, and peanut butter to corner the animals, and then unleashed a dozen dogs that repeatedly bit them. The forced fight clubs happened in Baker, Flagler, and Marion in Union counties, according to a statement on the year-long investigation which concluded this week. Not only were these gruesome acts of violence repulsive and cruel, they were recorded and posted to social media for the amusement of the defendants, said Florida Attorney General Pam Bondi. I doubt they are laughing any longer now they've been arrested for serious crimes. Christopher Elliott Hahn, 42, William Landrum, 39, Mark Lindsay, 26, Dustin Reddish, 25, Haley Reddish, 25, Charles Luther Scarborough III, 30, Hannah Weiner Scarborough, 27, Troy Travis Starling, 45, and William Tyler Wood, 29, were slapped with animal cruelty and other charges. Folks, you heard it here first.
I'm just gonna call it right now before we even go to chat.
It's
that is a pretty clear win.
We have to respect the chat's will on this. Maybe they will feel otherwise.
Maybe, but wow, Florida man and Florida woman as well. But I mean, unless somebody named their son Hannah. But wow.
So in Florida, chat. Bears must be conserved to protect them from Floridians.
Yeah, apparently.
They don't require defending.
I thought people in Florida just I thought we knew as like Australia Junior that you just don't really harass certain types of the wildlife. But Florida man is extremely brave as he is stupid.
So, okay, the chat votes are in, and it seems to be Florida across the board. Round 3!
Florida man!
Florida man.
Fight!
Yes! Well, I can't blame chat at all for picking Florida man. I mean... like...
You know,
really now, you're going to go and molest a bear. Why would you do, like, bears kill things, right? You know, like...
Well, you know, black bears are actually not all that large, and I suppose they thought, well, we can take this bear. This bear is going to be our bitch. And while that must have sounded wonderful in their heads, it's not acceptable ever, really. And look, here's the thing. Not only is it monstrous, cruel, objectionable, horrible, and all that, probably one of the only reasons they got properly nailed for it is because they not only recorded it, but uploaded it to all sorts of social media.
Also, Arcta, when you're giving out a link, you have to be careful who you give the link to, because anyone could just join the stream.
Noted.
Uh-oh.
Noted. Now, look,
Ready for round 3?
Oh, it's already on, which is actually a bit of a problem. But you know, I suppose I can always pull up a few more Florida Man articles. After all, this isn't even his final form.
It's not like Florida Man is pretty much at a near endless, infinite supply of. I don't know what to call it, but Poland Man. That's Poland Man tries to rob a bank with a spoon. A would-be bank robber held a teaspoon to the neck of a cashier, pretending it was a knife. A Polish news site said on Tuesday. See, now that's a knife. If you put this to someone's throat, you know, they would know. You know, they would know. However,
well, strictly speaking, if you're trying to convince someone you have a gun to the back of their head, there are any number of things you might poke against the back of their head that might be vaguely barrel-like. But a spoon is none of those things. So, yes, this is pretty daft.
The Polish news outlet said 2 women behind the counter at the bank in southern Polish city of Lublin Monday were not fooled and scared the man away with their screaming. Police have compiled a photo fit of the subject, which I don't think the photo loads, but so yeah,
They might have
Polish
not
man
shared it. Shame. Maybe they took some pity on him.
They might not have supplied him with a photo, but Polish man brandishes the most deadly of all weapons, but it's a secret one. Shh, don't tell anybody about it. Teaspoon. It's like a noisy cricket, but a teaspoon.
Well, you know, I see where he's going with this. Again, the entire idea is that, you know, you go up to someone, you quickly put something behind their head, press it against their neck, and convince them that it's a gun. But you really just can't do that with a spoon. Look, you could have gotten a marker, maybe. A marker, a metal
or an
pipe,
actual gun, or a real knife. If you try to tell me that the spoon is a knife,
no,
I think that the circular shape of it tells me right away that no, it is not, in fact, a knife at all. But it is a scary, scary, deadly teaspoon for stirring my tea.
Look, maybe it could hypothetically have worked also if there was only one person in attendance, but there were 2 of them behind the counter, so I guess he was relying upon the other one to just not tip off the fact that he was actually holding a spoon in place.
Maybe he was expecting the one with the spoon at the neck to go, oh my god, he has a knife, just do as he says. But they're like, you have a spoon, bro. That's a spoon? We have tea in the back if you need, you know.
A lead pipe would have done better. Context. Even as one Florida man did, a finger held in a pocket. You know, like so.
Is that a gun, or are you really happy to see me?
It's never worked. It's never worked in the history that I'm aware of, but you know, that's still better thought out than a spoon.
Both.
Oh well, this third round could be quite difficult.
Third round.
I suppose. My turn now. Minutes after being released from jail, a Florida man was arrested in the parking lot for breaking into cars. Casey Michael Lewis was a free man for about 15 minutes, not even leaving the grounds of the jail where he'd been locked up before being arrested. Again, the 37-year-old, what a winner there, had just been released Thursday from the St. Lucie County Detention Facility in Fort Pierce, Florida, where he had been held on grand theft charges, according to an arrest affidavit. The affidavit says after his release, Lewis then began walking around the jail's parking lot, acting suspicious and checking vehicle doors. Surveillance video showed Lewis looking into cars and opening the door of a silver vehicle, according to the affidavit. The report says Lewis entered the vehicle from the driver's side and sat in the car for about 2.5 minutes. He then exited the vehicle and walked around the length of the lot, checking vehicles along the way by either looking into the windows or lifting door handles to see if they were unsecured, the affidavit said. While Lewis was in the parking lot, he was approached by an officer. He told the officer he was waiting for his girlfriend, according to the affidavit. The arresting officer said in the affidavit that when Lewis was approached, questioned, and finally arrested, he gave the officer a brown paper bag with items from a vehicle. The items included an iPhone 7, 4 packs of cigarettes, a lighter, 1 Visa bank debit card, a Florida driver's license, and $547 cash. Lewis was surprisingly arrested on charges of burglary, grand larceny, and possession of stolen property, and taken back inside the jail. CNN reached out to an attorney who represented Lewis in a previous case, but got no immediate response. It cannot be determined whether Lewis was being represented by that attorney or another lawyer in the latest case.
So his lawyer was like, "Nah, I'm not gonna take your case again. You're an idiot."
Maria Entner, a spokeswoman for the St. Lucie County Sheriff's Office, said Lewis was released again the same day, but this time deputies made sure there was a person there to pick him up.
Well,
now we're in trouble. We got a full.
Quite comical, I must say.
We have a full.
He definitely gets some humor points. We'll give him maybe like an extra +1 to his armor rating for humor.
So let's see.
What does chat think, however?
Let's see. Florida Steam, of course. Everyone else, did you have a vote here? We have a vote for Poland, the Spoon Man. That's 2 for
Spoon Man.
Poland, 1 for Florida. Nick Arcana found it funnier.
I say it's rigged.
Well, this is Poland wins, which means.
Listen, I never lose on a vote. Mostly because I run the votes, but
look,
never mind.
You know, as a ref, you could have perhaps broken a tie, but clearly, Poland Man has won. So, in record time, no less, we've got a full half hour left. I don't know how just to fill it, though.
Okay. What do you have there, sir?
Well, let's have a vengeance round. But first, no, let's do this right. We must declare the winner. Poland Man wins. Pyrrhic victory.
Yes. Poland Man. Poland Man. Take that, Florida Man. And other stuff. Exactly. I'm back again. I must get out of jail. In jail parking lot. Go, you know what I want to do? While waiting on my girlfriend? I am going to go rob some cars.
Well, if only Poland Man had been there to have made the article really hilarious. Really been the worst.
That could have been fun if Poland Man also came out of Florida jail with Florida Man. There could have been wow, there could have been. Our opportunity was ripped from our arms and fingers before we even knew of its existence, Arthur.
Indeed. Well, look, we've got to kill some time left, so how about some honorable mentions from the rosters of Florida Man? Florida Man finds grenade while magnet fishing, but drives to Taco Bell before calling cops, sparking evacuation.
Munchies, man. Hey, I respect Florida Man here. You know, when hunger strikes, you must feed that. Because what if he had gotten hangry?
Indeed. A Florida man caused an evacuation at Taco Bell in Ocala this weekend after telling cops he drove there with a hand grenade he found while magnet fishing. In social media updates yesterday, officials from the Ocala Police Department advised citizens to avoid the area after it was verified that the device was an authentic World War II hand grenade. It appeared the man, who was not identified by law enforcement, had waited until arriving at the popular fast food restaurant before reporting his discovery to the authorities. The department said bomb squad experts had to be called onto the scene to remove the grenade, which they fortunately did so without incident. The Taco Bell closed for about an hour. The police Twitter account wrote later
Just imagine the place went boom. Bean burritos and nacho cheese and chalupas everywhere.
Well, yes, although in my opinion, this is a case of Florida police, because it was a genuine World War II era hand grenade found via magnet fishing. So, a grenade that had been underwater for God knows how long, the odds of it going off are just shy of better of winning the lottery, really. So, they all had a good freak out, when strictly speaking, the grenade finder was probably the most rational of them all.
I think the grenade was the most rational of them all, actually.
The grenade finder?
That is surprising from a grenade. I like this grenade, but I like this man's desire to get food.
Certainly, it is often nice to have food. True.
Well, I mean, I go to like the 2000s timeline and threaten and like go in a restaurant and threaten food anyway. So like, this is just an average. This is just an average Thursday for me.
Ha! Wow. You live in an eventful part of your world then there, Miss Steam.
Well, I have a time machine, so I have a time machine, so I don't terrorize my own timeline. I'm not a monster.
Time machine's got to be quite handy. How does yours work? Is it like a room? Is it like a box?
Don't ask me. Ask my scientist.
Is it larger? Is it bigger on the inside than it is on the out? It's no trope. I have to do it.
A steampunk TARDIS, eh? Well, I don't think that's quite the case, but I can sympathize, Steam. I know what it's like to be asked questions that you would have to call in a specialist answer for you, because you just really can't be asked to study everything.
All I know is my scientist just spilled a lot of vodka on the machine, and it turned into a time machine. So,
magic vodka?
Well, it was originally supposed to be a car.
Was it a DeLorean?
No, it's not a DeLorean.
Pity. At least if you're going to travel through time, travel in style.
What I wonder is why this Newsweek article has to have these, well, look, but why? The last thing I do with a grenade is put it in my trunk and drive around, some idiot on Facebook said. Another said, why does something like this only happen in Florida? Well, it probably does happen in other places. I know for a fact, I've been in Texas where people have freaked out over a grenade that had been hollowed out. But they couldn't tell, so, you know, they were all very alarmed.
I wonder if that would make some coffee mug. Just envision it. A big, nice, big grenade. Not little tiny, but nice, big, full-size grenade. Carve it out, do whatever, you know, the stuff to it. Stick a handle on it. Pour coffee in it. I mean, hopefully if it's not made of radioactive lead cancer causing metal, but maybe that's the more fun of it. It's still a live grenade, just in a different way. It has a half-life with all of its toxins.
Indeed. Let's see, I know there's no shortage of... Oh, wait a second, wasn't there a... Yes, I seem to recall there was a related story here. Earlier this week, Florida man accused of making sexual advances towards children was charged with 2 counts of lewd and lascivious conduct. Author Leo Perlux, 51, told detectives that he could not recall positioning anyone because he normally drinks 18 to 20 beers before interacting with the children.
Well then, what?
What?
But, it's really going to be a shame. People put Florida man on a pedestal and now he's lost to Poland man. He's going to have to give up the title and everything. I almost feel bad for him, but as has been highlighted at the beginning of this stream, whoever won was still going to be a loser.
But I mean, is it really a win? I mean, it's a win, but is it really a win? I mean,
No,
does it
it's
benefit the world?
No, it's not really a win because I dictate it.
Yes, loses.
Even if you hadn't dictated it, would it still actually be a win, though, Miss Team? Like, come on, think about it.
No.
This is
It
like
will not be
going,
a
who
win.
has the best Darwin Award?
You're
Who's got
asking
the...
you're asking a dictator to take someone else's side.
Florida man accused of luring kids tells cops he can't recall as he drinks 80-20 beers before talking to children. That's so much better. And these
Wait,
mugshots
is that
are
the same
fantastic.
guy? Oh, that is the same guy. He just looks really weird.
A Florida man accused of making sexual advances toward children told cops that he couldn't recall asking to touch them because of his alcohol consumption. Author Leo Peru, age 51 of Ocala, claimed that he normally drinks 18-20 beers before interacting with children at his home.
Freaking Ocala people, man, really? Ocala has some pretty crazy stuff. So another bit of information, people who probably never been to Florida or the States would know, Ocala is where there are massive hippie gatherings in the Ocala National Forest, and they have big, crazy, massive, weirdo rainbow gatherings. I mean, I don't know. Rainbow gatherings are odd.
Major crime detectives on Tuesday. The suspicions came to light after 2 boys, aged 6 and 7, came forward to claim the suspect had made inappropriate sexual advances on them while they were at his residence, cops said. The incidents allegedly took place at the Lindale Mobile Home Park in Silver Springs.
Why was he at the residence in the first place? And does the man have children, or is he just the local convenient drunk babysitter?
The children indicated it happened on multiple occasions. Detectives said it emerged during the investigation that children in the neighborhood would go to Pearl's home to play. He offers them soda to drink and toys to play with, police said. The mother of the 2 targeted children told local deputies that she previously allowed her kids to go to the home, but they had recently appeared reluctant to visit. When she asked why, the boys claimed Pearl has attempted to touch them multiple times while there. In a statement, police said, investigators spoke with the children separately and they both gave multiple accounts of how Pearl would ask them if he could touch their private parts.
Ugh. This Florida man is nauseating, I must say.
Oh yes, absolutely vile. But the excuse, wow. The children always declined his advances, but then Pearl would ask the children to touch his private parts instead, which the children also declined. The statement continued. Detectives then made contact with Pearl, who said he normally drinks 18-20 beers before interacting with the children, and that he could not recall asking to touch them any of the multiple times this is said to have occurred.
Maybe don't get... I mean, okay, it's the only thing I can think of at all to attempt to give him a, filament of credibility, just a filament. Not that I'm in any way going to support a pedophile being a pedophile. Maybe he likes children, but children give him a bunch of anxiety, so if he slams a 24-pack, it brings the anxiety down, but a 24-pack also always blacks him out.
Hey kids, you want to suck on my lollipop?
He's currently being held in the Maryland County Jail in 10,000 bond. I suppose if you know, you're right. If he had any memories of this ever happening, then maybe he would have stopped drinking. But because apparently he just blacks out for a tremendous amount of time around children, makes a point to drink 18, 20 beers anytime kids are coming over to his place, so he can have a nice, lovely period of time in which he can't recall anything happening.
Conveniently.
Well, clearly he didn't know anything was wrong. Poland man. Detective said attempts are being made to contact.
Poland man. A Poland man does some stupid Polish man shit. Poland man. Poland man. He's a Poland man.
You know, I'm going to play the animation one more time because I thought this would take a bit longer. And I put some work into this, so here we go.
Florida man! Poland man!
Yes, I would note that we voiced that over, so they're hearing that at least. They should be. If you're not hearing that, now's the time to tell me.
No, I heard it. It's good.
Okay. Detectives said attempts are being made to contact public to find out if Prole had any other victims in the neighborhood who have not yet come forward. Officials said anyone who has any information on sent victims to contact 352-368-3508, which will be completely useless to you if you're not in the US, and probably in Florida specifically, but, you know, hey, maybe by some long odds, someone will have some information.
Maybe Florida man is in your area, and Florida man is creepy like this, and you figure Florida people can help me against Florida man, because maybe only Florida people can contain Florida man, except for apparently their poor black bears, which get left. Oh my god! Oh, look at that guy.
Same
yeah, that was our hilarious moron who decides, you know, thank you for letting me out of jail. I need to break into a car to celebrate my.
Well, you know, let's be fair. He didn't actually break into any cars. He just, you know, went around checking which cars had been left unlocked and then helping himself to what was inside. Didn't break a thing. So technically,
Florida man charged for eating police patrol car seat during a cocaine trafficking stop.
As must surely happen all the time in Poland.
Well, you know, there's an old saying in Florida, is that it snows all the time in South Florida. Here, wait. It snows in South Florida all the time.
That's a good question, Yuzub. What sort of person does work at prison but leaves their car doors unlocked and also some portion of $545 US, their bank card, their driver's license? Oh well, a 35-year-old Florida man was arrested this week after Key West police officers found more than 40 grams of cocaine in his possession during a traffic stop. Melvin Stubbs of Homestead was detained on Thursday and charged with cocaine trafficking and resisting arrest. However, the situation took a strange turn after the suspect was found to have chomped on their car seat, according to Monroe County Sheriff's Office.
I was eating my. I figured I would try to eat my seat too, just to see what the guy was going through.
Well, you know,
must say that it was not tasty. No.
Well, I imagine the car seat might taste a bit different. The car seat in the back of a police car could be tastier, I suppose, but this just strikes me as the ultimate passive aggression.
Well,
it would. To be fair, the army leaves the keys in the tank all the time.
It's overconfidence. After all, what sort of idiot goes around stealing from a police department parking lot? Or a jail parking lot, for that matter. What breed of complete imbecile would do that? Lord man! The department said Sergeant Mark Jones and Deputy George Zachariads spotted Stubbs close to the mile marker at 59 about 10 p.m. traveling south in a white BMW. The suspect was pulled over because he had very dark illegal window tinting. you think it'd be easy to avoid. Using a tint meter, Sergeant Jones determined that the windows of the car were too dark. It emerged when Zacharias was writing up a warning that Stubbs had a warrant for violating probation stemming from cocaine sales. The suspect tried to flee but was taken to the ground, police said. The situation further escalated as one officer had used a stun gun to subdue Stubbs. During a search of the suspect's jacket, which came off as he was resisting, officers said they found 4 baggies containing a white powdery substance that tested positive for cocaine. The total weight of the cocaine was 41.1 grams, local law enforcement said. So
that's almost 2 ounces. 2 ounces would be about 56 grams, and damn,
let's see. We also
that's
have
a lot of cocaine
stories.
to just have chilling in your pocket.
Florida man tried to pay McDonald's with pot. Florida man pleads not guilty to shooting Chihuahua. Florida man still shoes after job interview, police say. But let's see if some of these Polish articles have handy segues into new Polish man articles.
Opium's better, by the way.
There is a Polish man article that would have been in an honorable mention for mine. I don't have it readily available, but I can remember what it was.
Sure, I can click on one of these other Florida man articles while you're looking for that. Meantime, nothing seems to be in regards to this man who was killed by a British kid.
Well, I can tell you about the Polish man article, even though you could find it on the UK site there. But what it was a Polish man crawled into a dumpster and was put in through the trash thing. Wasn't dead or whatever, but they ended up finding he didn't die from those injuries, but he ended up dying later. And his body was found in a dumpster. A Polish man and somewhere in the UK was found in a dumpster dead. Where he had just been chilling for a while, and had been through the trash truck and everything. Polish man.
Okay, I'm not. That would have been a fine article as well. Probably I should have.
I know I can definitely find another one real quick. I know I can definitely find you another
Well,
Polish man article,
okay,
and I will pop the link over.
Let's look into the Florida man who tried to pay McDonald's with pot. Florida man with pink eye tries to use pot to pay for McDonald's drive-through fast food, gets arrested.
Why? It's fucking McDonald's for pot. That's pretty good.
I would say that whatever he offered them was probably too much. Law enforcement in Florida arrested a man Sunday after he allegedly attempted to barter marijuana for fast food at a McDonald's drive-thru, officials said. Must have been a very nasty case of the munchies indeed. Port St. Lucie, we've heard of that particular spot before. Police department detained Anthony Gallagher, 23, after officers were called to a McDonald's located on the 3100 block of Southwest Boulevard around 2 a.m. The department said in a statement yesterday, a store worker told police a man in a Pontiac drove through the McDonald's drive-thru and tried to exchange a baggie of marijuana for food. When the McDonald's worker refused to go through the deal, the car drove off. At the scene, police officers took the description of the suspect and stayed in the area. A short time later, the suspect returned to the drive-thru of the same McDonald's. Police approached the suspect and noticed a heavy odor of marijuana emitting from the car. In a search, officers said they found 11 grams of cannabis. Gallagher, named by local media outlets, admitted he made the offer but claimed it had been a joke. In an arrest report by the Miami Herald, one officer noted that Gallagher's speech was slurred and that his movements were slow and uncoordinated. His pupils were dilated, and he also appeared to have conjunctivitis or pink eye, according to the newspaper. Backing up the official police press release, the report read, when the subject was advised of the amount of money he owed for his order, he produced a clear plastic bag that contained a green leafy substance and offered to provide him marijuana in exchange for the food. Gallagher's vehicle contained molded chicken wings, and French fries were spotted on the car's floorboard. I think after all this is just kind of rubbing salt in the wound. Yes, and his car was messy too.
Yeah, well, I must say though that there's a bit of a similarity between Florida man and Humboldt man in this regards because up here, where I hypothetically live as a human when I'm not, when I, different mythos. Hypothetically, there's a place called Humboldt, and the Humboldt man is a very weed-rich county, and Humboldt man periodically buys things with weed in this area. Many of the places and restaurants used to accept that as currency, actually.
I've received your messages, Jarl, but I don't understand.
Huh?
I believe you sent some Discord messages.
That wrong link. I'm recopying link currently to appropriately send to you since my phone did not.
No, it's alright. Florida
Yeah,
man.
this one is actually funny. This Polish man was electrocuted while urinating on a very, very high voltage fence. And I will be sending you the link very shortly. That way you can put it on screen and people can laugh at Polish man.
Oh, very good. I can wait for that because we've managed to make it to 8 minutes until I'm up. So.
Oh yeah, we've got plenty more content. I'm sure we can give our probably bored fans. I mean, all of the action ended in the first half hour. I mean, that's what they came for, right?
Well, we had 3 rounds in which Poland man proved to be the more extremely daft, vile, and bizarre person by managing to get killed in one punch by a 15-year-old, set himself on fire in protest of the increasingly draconic environment of his country, and what was it? Oh yes, trying to rob a bank with a spoon.
With a spoon.
Which beat out, of course, Florida man who, at 85, chased a random person down and shot their car. Florida man who got a team together of Florida men to capture and torture bears, and the Florida man who spent roughly 20 minutes released from prison robbing cars to go back to prison. But the chat chose Poland man.
Polish man.
Oh
my god, that is a very powerful. Oh, he peed on a railway line. Okay, yeah.
But he was still a Florida man.
You should be getting the link pretty soon here, Arcaturb. Yeah, this guy. Wow. Don't know why this guy would do this. Just wow. Okay.
So now we're going to have the victory lap from Poland man.
Yeah. Oh man. Polish tourist killed by urinating on a 750-volt electric rail line. And there's some photos of the rail line. Oh my god. A tourist who relieved himself on a live rail line at a South London station was electrocuted. What the hell is it with Polish people in London, Steam?
Well, actually, a lot of Russian and Polish people emigrate to England. It's actually not uncommon to see a Polish person in England.
Well, no, but it's not that. It's the fact, what is exceptionally wrong with these Polish men when they come over to England and London? Like,
well,
to be like, what happens?
Poland is a very, not an impoverished country, but it's a very backwards country. So when they come over here, it's like they don't like 100%. They don't 100% integrate into English society.
And this one's
Well,
a
yeah,
tourist,
so-
so he never intended to integrate in the first place. I'm guessing Poland doesn't have that many electric train lines.
I guess not.
No?
The Polish man died when an electric current connected with urine, which had splashed onto the 750-volt line. That's a convenient way of saying when the piss stream hit the live current, it traveled up his dick hole until he died.
Yeah, I think I got it.
It is thought the married 41-year-old teacher was on a trip to London to improve his English. Well, maybe he was trying to integrate steam, but he didn't do it very well. Workers found his body slumped over a track at Vauxhall Station after he was seen by staff at the station. They had earlier spotted him on CCTV screens walking into a recess area, but failing to reappear. Rail workers feared the victim may not have known that some tracks in Britain are electrified. It took police a week to identify the victim after the tragedy, which happened around 5 p.m. A source said, perhaps because he was from Poland, he had no idea the rail was electrified. His family back home is heartbroken. The station has no toilets, but there are public toilets nearby. That's a strange way to end the article.
Well, I hope if any of you are living in Poland or a sufficiently backwards country, you know never to piss on tracks, just to be safe. Use the urinals in public bathrooms like they were intended. This has been a PSA from the Common Grounds.
I concur with our director's PSA. Yeah, just try to use a real toilet. Just if you are in an area that has a real toilet, just use it, especially if you're in Britain area around the rails. You never know if that's going to be electrified. So just
and in fact, if you have
in
any
the appropriate
Poland
places.
friends who are in Poland, maybe just tell them not to go to the UK at all.
Yeah, maybe just stay home.
Two
Stay home.
Polish mans.
Let's put it this way. Poland is very similar to Russia. So if you just replace the word Polish with Russian and then put them in an English setting, it makes 1,000 times more sense.
Oy vey. Okay. Yeah.
No, that's definitely a lot worse than the Florida man arrested after Cole's job interview for allegedly stealing Nike shoes as a gift for his mother. A job candidate hoping for position at Florida Coles was arrested this week for allegedly stealing 2 pairs of shoes from the department store immediately after his interview. Dominic Breedlove, that's a name for you, age 24 of Hudson, was detained by officers.
I have to stop you for a second because on the read more, Florida man who farted loudly threatened to gut man.
Florida woman. I didn't pull up any Florida woman articles because I was trying to stick to the whole Florida man thing, but really,
you might want to put this one should be this should be our coup de grace for this. That sounds like it's going to be, well, it's going to smell bad because she farted, but I think it's going to be epic. But continue your article here, sir.
Oh, no, let's check it out. Florida woman farted loudly, threatened to gut man who complained about it, police say. A Florida woman who farted loudly in a Dollar General store was arrested.
Of course it's at a dollar store.
Do
After
you want me to
gut a
read it
man.
as the female voice?
Oh, actually, that's an excellent idea, Steam. Yes, you should read us out with this story. I'm going to send you the link right now.
Okay, fair enough. Send me the link, Hal.
Read us out, Steam.
It's loading. It's loading. Just give it a minute.
No, this is going to be great.
Okay. A Florida woman who farted loudly in a Dollar General store in Diana Beach was arrested Sunday after threatening to gut a man who complained, cops say. The Herald report this week that
Shanetta Yvette Wilson. Shanita.
Okay. Made up Wilson Age 30.
Hey, Yvette, it's actually that's more real than that first word, which I don't know what that first word is. But
Okay. Age 37 was charged with aggravated assault with a deadly weapon without intention to kill after the incident. Her arrest was confirmed using inmate information posted by the Broward County Sheriff's Office.
You may remember that county sheriff's department as the one who waited for a school shooter to run out of bullets or victims.
Yes, that is the famous Broward County.
The newspaper, which obtained a copy of the complaint of dyslexia, reported that the altercation started after a customer in the shop standing next to the woman, named Johnson Walker, age unknown, got into an argument that was in reference to the defiant farting loudly. Wilson, the complaint alleged, pulled out a lockback knife from her purse, opened it, and told Walker that she was going to gut him. The woman then mentioned with the knife as if she was going to attack the victim with it. The Miami Herald reported, citing police records. The affiliate said Wilson had been in fear that he was going to be stabbed by the defendant. The suspect was defendant. Shit. The suspect.
Defiant
was
is actually pretty accurate too. You know, it works. They're pretty defiant. We're pretty clear on this. This is a very defiant person.
by local law enforcement and detained. According to the inmate information online, she was taken to Paul Rent Detention Facility on $2,500 bond. It's not the first time someone has gotten in trouble for passing gas in the state. Earlier this year, a Florida security guard was fired from his job at the Heart of Florida Regional Medical Center after posting videos online of him farting while on the job. The man using the name Paul Flart online recorded his own sacking in a YouTube video posted in August. A man informed Flart he was being let go for recording himself farting 75 times while in uniform. Flart wrote on Twitter, flatulence are a normal bodily function. God bless me with the lactose intolerance, and I was trying to bless everyone with this particular synopathy.
Sphincter Symphony and
Symphony.
We've kind of, I actually remember this article. Another masterpiece of Florida man who just lost to Poland man, because that's a thing that happens. Once again, Poland man won this conflict. Pyrrhic victory. And with that, we are entirely out of time. Congratulations again to Poland man. Poland man for somehow defeating the champion Florida man and taking home the title. Everyone in chat should be very, very proud of themselves. Well done, Poland man. You've achieved the dream that no one really wishes for. You have won in an underdog match against Florida man. And with that, it's time to say goodbye.
We will see you next week at the same time, everyone. Thank you again for joining us on the Common Grounds.
Well, we'll see. On that note,
and
Steve,
Arcta.
Yes, thank you for making yourself useful. You're going to hack into this whole thing, so that was really appreciated. It could have gotten a lot worse, I think.
Oh, that's fine. And Arcta, just another thing. You should really be careful what links you post out. You don't know who might come in. Okay, bye everyone.
Your security advisement is, of course, taken to heart. I will look into where where I went wrong with sharing links in the very near future. Cheers!
Okay,